All right, everyone, we made it to the aquarium. Aren't you guys so excited? I certainly know that I am. Wow, it's been so long since I've been here. Yeah, that's right, you guys. Mommy used to come here all the time when she was little. Well, I guess not little, but she would come when she was your age, and when she was an adult, and when she just kind of needed to get away. um, Anyways, come on, let's get inside. Well, I know, but they haven't opened yet. But they'll be open in just a few minutes. And Mommy wanted to get here early because this place gets packed during the weekends. It's very popular. Did you guys know that they have sharks and stingrays and they have a huge moray eel? And they've got some turtles. They've got a Goliath grouper. No, buddy. Unfortunately, they don't have any great white sharks. Great white sharks don't survive in captivity. Any place that's had a great white shark, the sharks have died. And we don't know why. No idea. I guess that's just the way God designed them. Now, remember, you guys, I'm sure these fishies are used to a lot of yelling and screaming from other kids, but these fishies also get stressed out really easily. So it's important that we're not tapping on the glass and we're keeping our voices kind of low. Because some of these fishies, I'm sure, are very shy. And if we're quiet, maybe we'll get to see some special creatures that loud people don't get to see very often. I know, I'm so excited too. But do you remember what we do when we get really excited? Yeah, we whisper yell. We go, ah! Good job, you guys. Okay, and remember, hold hands. Okay, we gotta be safe. You wanna go with Daddy? Okay, I'll take you, sweet girl. Hey, darling, you wanna hold my hand? Well, I gotta make sure you're safe too, baby. It's been a long time since we've had a family outing together. And this aquarium, used to come here all the time when I was little. I mean, you remember me telling you the stories, don't you? Yeah, this is that place. The Sea Life Aquarium. When I was younger, about a little younger than our kids, um, well, my family couldn't afford to go in there. But now that I'm an adult, I can afford my own things. And I would come here all the time. Especially when I kind of just needed to turn off my brain or even just relax and, I don't know, spend a time in a place where I'm familiar. And this is that place. Makes me want to get back into saltwater fish tanks a little bit. Oh, no, no, no. We absolutely are not. That is such an expensive hobby. Oh, yes. And one wrong thing could cause your tank to spike and it's all gone. And it's tough. Yeah. No, we're not going to get into it. But I want to teach our kids the importance of marine life. I know we watch a lot of nature documentaries, and that's great, and I love them, but a lot of them don't really focus on the importance of the fish, aside from what's in the ocean. But our freshwater marine ecosystems are so important. Well, believe it or not, a lot of our drinking water actually comes from the Great Lakes. hmm And we've got a lot of wonderful marine life. I've seen most of them firsthand, although Mom and Dad would never let me dive in, well, under the bridge. They'd let me go in big water, just not under the bridge part. and I understand why. Not being the strongest of swimmers, it's a really dangerous place. But this place is not, and we're going to teach our kids all about it. All right, you guys, we're at the door. Oh, sweetie, honey, I know we're excited, but that's not meant to be climbed on. And we don't put our fingers in there. No, baby, it's not because the tank is dirty. It's because our fingers are dirty. I know, sweet pea, but let me explain something to you. Do you remember when we talked about balance? Mm-hmm. Well, salt water, which is what this tank is, and fresh water. Big tanks like these are very, very sensitive, and they've all got sorts of really important sciencey levels going on in the water. The water can't be too soapy, or it can be not full of certain bacteria, because some bacteria is really good. It's the bad bacteria that makes us sick. Now, if you look here, see in the sand? Look real close. You see those little thingies buzzing around, all those buggies and those itty bitty little starfish on the glass? Mm-hmm. Now, those are important. They are what make everything in this tank alive. Now, they call it alive because everything in it has a purpose. Everything in it is alive. Even to the tiniest little itty bitty things that we can't see. Those little bugs. The fish eat. And then the bugs reproduce. And the fish eat the bugs. And then the fish, well, everybody poops. But the fish poop. And then the bugs eat the poop. And then the bugs make babies. And that way, everything has balance. Exactly, darling. Like the circle of life from The Lion King. Oh, hey, baby. Oh, you got our tickets. Oh, awesome. Okay, yeah, let's go in. Let's go in. Don't run ahead too far, okay, guys? And there's no rush. Mommy and Daddy planned on spending a lot of time here, okay? So you guys take all the time you want looking at everything. And if you have any questions, we can ask. And I'm sure there's very, very, very good informational panels about all of the creatures we'll be looking at. So come on. Huh? Oh, sorry, sweetheart. I was just looking at this guy. Huh? Oh, it's a fox face. At least, that's what we called them. It's a butterfly fish. But that wasn't the one I was looking at. It's the one behind it. Yeah, the dory-looking one. You see all those black marks up by its eye and along its back? Poor little guy must be rescued. No, that's bruising. Poor thing must have been getting beat up. Well, all of the fish in this tank look like they're going to be rather docile. It's a reef tank, so they're meant to live together. Like I said, baby, I know this stuff because I used to have a fish tank. A 300-gallon one in our basement. It was an aggressive tank, which means the fish in there were, well, aggressive. Not towards each other, but if you'd put them in a tank with, say, a bunch of these guys, tangs, they would be aggressive. They were predatory fish. We had a blue dot stingray named Speckles. We had a coral cat shark named Chomper. I specifically had a snowflake moray eel named Jaws. Oh, he was amazing. If you left your finger on there and you wiggled it around and you said, "Come here, come here," he would kind of start to slowly make his way out of the glass or out of the rocks towards the glass and kind of look at you. And then we had a porcupine pufferfish named Prickles. We had a foxface named Camo. We had a lunar wrasse. His name was Sweet Tooth. And Camo and Sweet Tooth were the best of friends. We had this huge shell that we had in there for a decoration. It was a real shell. And Sweet Tooth, we couldn't find him one night. No idea where he was. So me, my mom, my dad, and my sister. My dad poured a little bit of food in the top of the tank, and we all watched certain areas to see where he'd come out of. And that fish was hiding inside the shell. He would swim up there, and then he'd lay down on his side, and that's where he would sleep inside that shell. And then after some time, Camo, the fox face, would sleep closer to the shell, and closer, and soon enough he slept right outside of the shell next to Sweet Tooth. They were the best friends. Sweet Tooth had a beak on the inside, and he would break off pieces of larger food for Camo to eat. And they had the cutest symbiotic relationship. They were so sweet together. We never separated them. I believe Camo died of old age before Sweet Tooth did, and shortly after that, Sweet Tooth never wanted to sleep in the shell. He'd always just be found laying somewhere around it, but in the sand. Pretty neat, huh? Wow! Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that guy! The lionfish! Oh, hang on, Sweet Pea. I'll pick you up. There we go. Baby, this is a lionfish. Now, in many areas, these fish are invasive. Do you know what that means? It means they're bad for the environment. Exactly. You're so smart. Where'd you learn that? Did Chris and Martin tell you? Yeah, you learned it from the Wild Kratts. That's a really good show. But this lionfish, this lionfish's species are invasive, which means they are destroying the normal fish population. And many people hunt them. Apparently, they're really good for eating. But they're also incredibly venomous. You know what that means? Exactly. If we were to touch this fish, it would sting us and hurt us. Now, that doesn't mean that we need to be scared of them. We just need to be cautious when we're around them because they are dangerous. But that doesn't mean this fish is a bad guy. In fact, Mommy had a big lionfish, a little bit bigger than this guy. He was about 3 years old and his name was Venom. I know, fitting, right? When we first got Venom, he was very shy, and he didn't really understand his environment. But eventually he warmed up, and soon enough, he started to show his personality. Now, one thing about Venom was he was very, very nice. He was, really. He never wanted to bother any of the other fish. He'd let them swim around him and even times swim away from him. You see that back part back there that's covered in algae? Now that part would have to be cleaned by hand in our fish tank. And so, what we did is I was brave enough. I put my hand in the water. I know! Oh, Mommy's so brave. Actually, what had ended up happening was Venom. He was curious, but he was also scared. So he found a corner of the tank that was furthest away from what I was doing, and he sat back there and watched. And then when I had to move to the other side, I just slowly dangled my fingers in the water, just the tips of my fingers. And he noticed that, and he swam over to the other side and waited until I was done. He was very polite. Ooh, look, the tide pool! Come on, you guys. You want to touch some coral? Let's see, I got some anemones and some starfish. Now remember, we gotta wash our hands first, and we gotta be very, very gentle. What? I'm a good mom. Well, they've also got a really good dad. It's a bit of a passion of mine. Wanted to be a marine biologist, you know? I think I'll stick to inspiring young minds for now. At least I know I'm good at that. Oh, darling. I love you. Thank you for blessing me with a family, for being a wonderful husband, an incredible father, and an amazing person to spend the rest of my life with. Yeah, buddy, did you touch that starfish? What'd it feel like? Was it squishy? Yeah, right? I know. Tell me more. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so funny.